distanced yourself from the whole thing.
Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Alright, hello. Welcome to the Nova Nighthawks broadcast. My name's Caleb, and I'm joined by...
I'm Ricky. Nice to meet you all.
Alright, we're just going to be getting into some camp select, and we're starting off with the Jarvan ban. Jarvan's it's a pretty universal ban, really strong, really good at getting to the back line, and really easy to combo with a whole bunch of mid lane mages and a whole lot of
stronger.
Gangplank ban. That's not as interesting. Both soul laners of the other team do play a lot of Gangplank, and are quite good at it.
Naruto's banned. That's interesting. Looks like no one's getting off the hook with him today. Or would it be the anchor?
Yeah, he's a high CC champion. A lot of people do not like playing against him as he tends to take one person out of the entire team fight. Really solid at locking down picks. So overall, Kale, another ban that is directed at one particular player, and that would be the enemy top laner. Enemy, because I'm assuming that I'm broadcasting from the Nova perspective.
Yeah, that was a Nova ban.
Yeah. And we'll see what Vanderbilt decides to ban this time.
Yeah, taking a bit. Oh,
Vanderbilt does get first pick, so they might want to leave over a priority pick like Aphelios, Senna, Ryze. Those are all great first picks that they can grab, depending on what kind of comp they want to run.
Not a problem.
Fortune ban.
That's
not that interesting. The AD carry does play, he's pretty much a Misfortune one trick in solo queue. He does tend to play other stuff, but for solo queue he definitely has a lot of Misfortune, and he's very proficient on that champion.
So that was a very unfortunate ban for him.
Yeah, that was quite unfortunate. He is still quite good on all the champions. I wouldn't put it past him if he still is able to hard carry this game, even not on his main champion, as he is quite diverse.
Oh, Horn. Oh, that's quite a neat ban.
It's a neat ban, but it's also not too surprising. He is the main dominant tank for top lane. He's really quite strong, and he gets engages for his team, which is quite hard to find in top laners now. That's tanky and can find engages. Echo the first pick that can be flexed into jungle and to mid lane, both quite good, spotting around a 53% win rate in both roles with around like a 12% pick rate. Quite strong, very good. I'm an Echo one trick, so I do know a lot about him.
I was about to ask.
Olaf is quite nice as well. Great early game pressure. He does start to fall off at 20 minutes in, but if you get those games ended or just snowballed before the enemy team can react, Olaf is quite strong. Thresh, another champion, kind of like the Nautilus, but not quite as tanky. You tend to lock onto one person and make it so they can't do anything. You just grab them, and then they're out of the fight.
Oh, a possible Nami pick. That would be rather interesting. She's got quite a fair bit of CC, and the heal can be a bit annoying.
This does allude to sort of like protecting and peeling for the AD carry. Something that could go alongside the Nami would be like a Jhin or other things that have really heavy auto attacks. A Senna could also be coming out here. It would be a little more surprising to see a Senna, as it doesn't provide as much consistent damage as you might want from an AD carry. But it also wouldn't be too surprising because she is very strong right now.
Yeah. Oh, a Lucian. So
Lucian coming in? Yeah.
So instead of the wife, we got the husband.
Yeah. The double tap from the Lucian passive does work with each consecutive Nami E, so each auto attack would get buffed. So it's quite good in very short burst trades in the bot lane. So it's a little more difficult to play against that lane. So with a Thresh, you might want to be looking for more of a safer lane and maybe take up Senna or some other type of champion.
Yeah,
we'll see what they pick here.
Yeah. Nami, Lucian, and
2 seconds on the
oh,
clock.
Varus.
Varus locked in. That's another easy point and just sort of click to get someone locked down. This would make it really easy post 6 to just go down bottom, grab somebody. Maybe because Nami doesn't have any mobility, super easy for a Thresh and a Varus to land CC onto them. So that's really dangerous after 6. Before 6, we'll see what kind of jungler Vanderbilt goes with. It still could be that Echo, but that could also be pushed down middle. So we'll see how it goes.
And then a Cho'Gath ban. Huh. Looks like nobody's getting nommed tonight.
Cho'Gath is also another tanky top laner. You get a whole bunch of health stacked on, and without Set being in the game, inside this format right now, it's really hard to counter him because he's just super tanky and you can't really get him.
Oh, talking about kind of champions that got some stuff recently, Diana got banned.
Diana got banned, and she got recently reworked. Her E, her old E is now her new ultimate, but it now does damage. And her old ultimate is now locked onto her E. She's very good in the jungle role, but also more importantly the mid role. Very strong, very good to get roams. With that new Rod of Ages build, you become quite tanky while still being able to click.
Oh, talking about stuff like Mana, Rod of Ages, a Rise ban.
Rise can be piloted by the highest people, and he's almost impossible to beat. The low range is almost always being ignored by the fact of how much damage he does, and he's really easy to get crowd control on, easy to gank for, and just overall has a lot of escapes with he got his ult, and he got the movement speed from his passive. Not too shocking, it's also a flex pick, and so you wouldn't always necessarily see where it goes. I'm also a little surprised that Nova didn't pick that up themselves on this first pick, but we'll see what they decide to go for here.
Yeah, and then a Darius ban.
My guess would be a top laner here. You want to look for something. I actually don't know what you want to look for. Maybe a Kennen, Irelia. You want to look for something that can both play mid and top, so that you can get that flex, so that the other team can't necessarily counterpick it. So we'll see what Nova decides to go for here.
Yeah,
That's 5 seconds left on the clock.
Oh,
Mordekaiser. Strong pick, been strong since the rework. Sitting at like a 52% win rate right now. Considered very overpowered.
Oh,
You
yeah,
need a little bit of tuning.
He's a pain to fight. If you don't get yourself something like a QSS or get yourself a bunch of oranges, you're getting sent straight to that shadow round, Jimbo, and there ain't much to get out of there.
And the oranges are already banned.
Ah, yeah.
Renekton, definitely one of the champions to beat. His W does get rid of all the shielding that Mordekaiser has if it's empowered. Makes it nice in a trade if you do get that timing correctly. Also nice short skirmishes for Renekton, but it still is quite easy for the Mordekaiser to pull off. Just one little pull into the Mordekaiser, and that should just be game over for the Renekton. We'll see how it goes.
Huh. So it looks like Nova is also going to be being sent to the Shadow Realm via Sylas.
So for those of you who don't know, Sylas can steal any ultimate from the enemy team, and he can use it against them with his own ability power. So basically, the Varus ult, who doesn't build ability power, doesn't do very much damage, but when Sylas steals it, it does a lot more. So Sylas is going to have to be able to figure out which ultimates to steal at which time. We're going to be guessing that the Sylas is going middle, the Echo is going jungle, and the Renekton is going top because that is the most usual. But it could be a swap like a Sylas jungle and Echo middle, but that would be very unlikely.
Oh, and Akali at the last freaking second.
Akali, that is saying something. Akali and Sylas is a classic. It's very much as a skill matchup, and a lot of people, a lot of highlights from the professional top levels is Akali into Sylas, and it's going to be really interesting to see how those two play out.
Huh, that will be
Definitely
pretty neat.
Whoever has more jungle is probably going to win the early game, which would be Olaf, and then Sylas should get wave push, and Akali, we'll see what we can do with that.
All
It's going to be about 30 seconds before you hop in the game, then I believe we have a spectator delay of about 5 minutes, so we're just going to continue talking about the game state.
5 minutes,
until then.
that's quite a bit.
Yeah, so you can't cheat. That's always good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I find it a bit interesting looking at all of this, even with the, I don't even know what to say, like not the Nova team, the other one. The only
They're
real
called Vanderbilt. Yes.
Vanderbilt, yep. The only big bulk I see from them is Renekton, and then I don't know if Silas is going to build anything bulky. Do you think he's going to build
He's
straight
going to
AP?
build Rod of Ages first. That'll give him a little bit of extra tankiness. He's not going to be as tanky as someone who's like at full tank, but he will be able to survive, especially with the W healing he gets, to be a little much more than just like an assassin. He'll be much more of a nuisance. He'll
Alright.
be quite annoying to deal with in team fights, and he's going to give that Varus a hard time.
Alright. And then I'm just looking at Nova's side. Mordekaiser, Olaf, Thresh. That's quite a bit of bulk. That'll be... give them... What would be the proper term for it? Like, give them a bit more longevity in fights?
Yeah, so especially with that Thresh pickup, it's going to take a little while for him to ramp up. He starts off the game with, I believe, 0 armor. But then as he collects souls, he will be getting a little bit tankier as that game goes along. So at first, he's going to be a little less tanky, and he could get popped. And hopefully, for Vanderbilt, if they can get that Lucian Nami on him, he will die very fast. But as the game goes on, he's going to get progressively tankier and a little more difficult to kill.
Yeah, which that'll be annoying for them.
It's also interesting because both teams seem to be going for this early game win. Varus, very good in lane. Thresh, very good in lane. Nami, very good with Lucian, and both very strong laners. Silas, Akali, neither of them are just going for the wave clear mids. They're both looking for ways to kill the opponent and to out-roam and to get other lanes ahead. Olaf, Echo, this is a bit of a mismatch. This is where I think that the biggest problem is going to come out for Vanderbilt. Olaf is so strong in the early game that he's going to stomp over Echo. If Echo sees Olaf, he has to run away. There's nothing that he can do early, especially since Olaf's first clear is so strong. It's going to be Olaf running the game for the first, 10 minutes. And then Echo will come online and make Varus have a hard time. But until then, Nova has to use that early game pressure to start gaining advantages. In the top lane, if Mordekaiser ever gets 3 hits on the Renekton is going to have a hard time. But if Renekton can jump in and do his little burst trades before Mordekaiser can do anything, then it's going to be Renekton chipping down the Mordekaiser and then eventually being able to kill him or force a recall into a teleport. So it'll be more or less... I'm not sure if it's a skill matchup, but there are definitely ways in that both teams do have their objectives, and they both do want to have different ways to play around. So whoever can fulfill their goal to win lane will, of course, win the lane.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Now, I'm just kind of thinking, maybe they chose the Echo into the Olaf because they thought the Olaf was going top lane.
Olaf hasn't gone top in 2 seasons.
Seriously?
Yeah, the mana problems is really an issue with his Q. He has to get that blue buff. If he throws a Q, he's running out of 1/3 of his mana, and that's how he runs down people. So that's why it's a huge issue, and that's why he got shifted to the jungle role a little while ago. Now, because he does get the blue buff, that's why his clears are so fast. He throws a Q, and it hits every single jungle creature inside the jungle camps, and then he gets that super fast clear speed. As well as the more damage he takes, the faster his attack speed is. And so he goes super low in the jungle. You'll see him hold on to smites. You'll see him hold on to pots. And that's not because he wants to die. It's because the lower health he does, the more his attack speed is. So he clears faster.
Yeah.
At the same time, if he does get invaded on, he will be low health because people are going to be... He's going to be low health because that's how he clears fast. So
he can easily get caught out with that. And the time it would take to heal via smite and then pots would be a bit too long. And they can just pop him like a... I don't know, balloon.
Yeah, it would be a little difficult with the... Echo would have a hard time doing it alone, but he certainly could at least push Olaf out early if he finds him at the right time. Echo's first clear isn't great, so he'll be about a camp behind Olaf by the end, and he won't quite be able to stop Olaf, so that's why it's a bit of a rough matchup.
All right.
But yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm also just looking over everything. Dark Harvest Echo.
That's really meta. It's really nice. Electrocute does give you that nice early game damage. That's what you do for mid lane to get early pressure. But Dark Harvest does scale a lot better, and so you do run that for the Echo. And so once the Echo starts out scaling to Olaf, he's going to be having a great time just walking all over this game. So here we are into game 1.
And let's see.
It's looking like an invade. That would be my guess.
Huh.
It's 5 point. There are 2 ways to start out a game. You can either invade or 5 point. It's looking like an invade on both sides. Well, no. Yeah, it looks like an invade on both sides.
This is interesting. My other caster's being shown something. But yeah, it looks like... No, it doesn't... They're all going around keeping an eye on stuff, making sure none of the other team can poke their noses in and be like, hello, I'm going to steal your buff now. They're just like, nah, you ain't doing that.
So it did end up being a 5 point. 5 point is where each of the champions are right now. It's really hard to get past the 5 point. In fact, you really can't. And this is to stop wards from getting into the jungle, so people don't know where you're starting.
So this is to render any information they could have gotten useless.
Exactly. So the way that jungling works is that a jungle will start on one side, And at 3 minutes, he'll be on the opposite side. So people, if you figure out where the jungler is starting, you can basically track where he is for the first 4 minutes consistently. And even after that, because then he'll go back bot side around like 4 or 5 minutes. And then you can basically just track him, and then you can play aggressively in lanes accordingly.
Isn't it usually a method to like look to see where your jungler is, and then you assume that the enemy jungler is like the exact opposite of it?
So sometimes there are some champions, like the Olaf could start red if he wanted to, and so that's why it's important for this. The Echo will almost always start red because it helps us clear out. And as you see, there's a ward at the Raptor camp from Nova,
Oh,
so they'll be spotting out the Echo if he goes for the Raptor second, which he probably should.
Yeah. We can see Olaf starting blue, so he's going to get that much faster Q. No, he's going to be able to use Q a lot more, as you mentioned before. So which that should be very useful. I don't see much going on mid side here.
So
just a few bit of trade.
They saw Echo on the Raptor board, so they do know he is top side and skipped both of his bottom camps. We'll see what Echo tries to do with this. He's just double clearing. He's probably doing double buff, but the Olaf has a hard time invading him. It's a little bit of a smart play from him. We'll see if Olaf is going to still attempt it without knowing. But you see the ping does show that Echo is going to be on that camp. So Nova does seem to have a great idea on how it's going. Just early game CSing.
Yeah. Oh, and there's this
Ooh,
fight.
this is
Ooh,
all in.
Mordekaiser's
Mordekaiser
so
going in
low.
top passive. The Renekton
Oh, there's
going
gonna.
Oh, something going on the bottom.
Oh my
Nami.
goodness.
Nami's going to flash and he's
ignited.
going to get ignite.
Oh, and then there's Solution saying hello, but no, it doesn't look like either of them are able to confirm kill. Wait, the Nami's super low. There might be something here. There goes in the jump with Lucian, and it looks like they're both trying to disengage, trying to figure out what the heck to do now. And they're just now returning back to business from usual. But it looks like the Nova bot side's being a bit more cautious now, after seeing what damage can be dealt.
So if you look at the summoners traded, both 80 carries did exchange heals. So we got something in the
Oh
top
no,
lane.
top side
Convergence not quite running into the Mordekaiser.
Oh no,
That's
first blood.
going down
Oh.
into the going onto the Mordekaiser. Great gank by the Echo.
Yeah,
Nice use of pathing.
that was very unfortunate for the Mordekaiser. And he probably got set up with that from the early trade with the Renekton. How much of an advantage do you think that's going to put the Renekton in? I already see, he's not a level ahead. But,
Not a level ahead because of the teleport coming in from the Mordekaiser, but that will put him about 300 gold ahead, 400 because it's first blood, but Mordekaiser's going to be picking up. Both running, going back about 13 CS, but it will be a boot to 2 longswords, so that is quite the difference.
Oh, and then the Thresh took a bit of damage there.
Yeah, the death sentence not quite landing on the target. Yeah, just a little bit of trading going on back in between these laners.
Yeah, looks like topside might be the hotspot for this whole thing. Oh, that Varus just got caught in the bubble. And there comes the Lantern. Oh, the Ignite. Oh, the Nami got the kill. That's such a sad thing for the Darken. Wait, is he even considered Darken? He's got like that double A thing.
He is Darken, but yeah, the flash not coming out quite fast enough. The bubble did land on Tavares. Still expended the flash with dying. The good news is that it went on to the Nami, but the bad news is that he's dying and missing out on farm and experience. A little bit of things going on in the mid lane. The Akali being able to jump right back out.
That was quite flashy. I didn't even see that happen until she was already jumping back and was like, oh, hello, I'm no longer here.
Yeah, the E, if you do use it on that Shroud, does allow you to teleport back to it. So you do get a little bit of flashy plays from the Akali, being able to jump in and jump out. Pretty much that well.
And we see Echo down towards the bot side, getting scuttled there. So that should get them vision around Drake. Which, do we have something that tells us what Drake's coming up next?
Not really, no. We'll just see it when we get down. Oh, Cloud Drake, thanks for pinging it.
Thank you very much, Thresh.
Very nice. It's going to be up in 15 seconds. There might be a focus on it in blue side. I would doubt they would do it on spawn. You'd need a gank, probably bot lane or mid lane, to open up that dragon objective. Olaf not doing anything quite yet. Still up about 2 camps. So up a little bit in gold over the Echo, but he does need to start pushing his advantage a little bit more.
Doesn't Echo get a bit of gold from the assist he got
earlier? He does get a little bit of gold. It would be about 100 gold from the assist, which is not as much as 2 camps. So he's down probably about 100 gold right now. Nice.
Alright. And then it seems Echo might be holding mid tower, so that'll get him a bit of gold. Won't that put him behind like a camp or 2?
Yeah.
We got
a little bit of trading. The Mordekaiser using out the Going to be popping back in. That's the sort of thing Mordekaiser wants. It's a bit of a minion wave.
Oh, geez.
He's still going back in.
I don't know if that was the smartest move. He's taking quite a bit of damage there.
Yeah, you might want to. You're down 2 longswords, so you probably don't want to be going for these trades anymore. You're going to want to be building, like, probably rushing these Zonias, Hourglass in this, get a little bit of tankiness. I'm being told that that is not the correct thing to buy, and I'm going to just ignore what I said. It's not bad. You could sit on a Secret Arm Guard there.
I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things you could do. But it looks like bot lane, Olaf decided to come say hello, but it doesn't look like they got anything from it. Which they do have some vision around Drake. The Vanderbilts? Whatever, however you call it.
Yep.
Yeah, they got vision around Drake, but there's not much vision for Nova around there.
Echo looking for something mid lane, not quite able to find it. The wave is pushing against the Silas.
Oh.
Oh,
no!
This still could be a kill for the Akali. The Akali getting it.
Oh my
jumping
goodness.
out. Echo should be able to clean this up, but it's still 1-for-1. It's
And
quite nice.
no. And then bot side going on. There's the Olaf. That's a flash Q. And that Lucian just... Oh, no, he didn't get sent to the Lantern. He got sent straight to the Executioner. Or Executioner. It works. It works.
Alright. That should leave over Dragon up for Nova. We'll see how that goes. They should be able to pick that up pretty easily now with AD carry and mid laner, both of which bring up late. Echo does have a tendency to be able to steal these, especially as he is parallel convergence back up. Oh no, Chronoverge. Whatever it's called, I should know this.
No, it's fine. And then Nami's coming on in to get some vision to see what's going on. She can't really do much, but she knows that they're fighting. Oh, and she just got hooked.
Onto the Nami. Flay coming back in, and that's going to be one picked up for Yoon.
And then
Echo's
Echo's there.
going to be jumping in onto this. Flash coming out from the Olaf.
Uh-oh.
Echo does have ult, so we'll see how it goes. One down.
No.
Olaf's going to be killed. We're going to see what's going on. Echo's going to be... He still has ult. Ult's
and
back
there
in.
Goes.
Varus is going to be attacking.
But that's
Echo
in the middle
going
of
down.
everyone. Oh, that was unfortunate. That was a jungler trade, wasn't it?
That was a jungler trade, and that's probably worth it for Vanderbilt. It stops the Dragon from being done. And that new Cloud Drake from last season used to be movement speed. Now it is cooldown reduction on your ultimate, which is quite important and considered one of the better dragons.
Yeah, it's also... Oh, and there's the Renekton trade you were talking about. And oh, there's the ult you mentioned from Varus being able to get the CC, but he survives barely.
Flash from the Nami. She probably thought he was going to take a little more damage than she did. It looks a little bad, but sometimes it's better to be safe than sorry.
Oh, and that,
still
my!
suspended.
The arrow
Yeah.
hit. Yeah.
The arrow hit. That was nicely done by the Varus, but was also nicely done by the Nami for healing over time. The Aerie giving him just enough shield to actually survive.
Yeah, that's always a very good feeling when you're playing support and you just barely manage to survive, barely manage to save your ADC. Yeah. Oh, and then doesn't seem like there's much else happening. They might be, looks like they might be trying to get vision around Drake, but I'm not too sure. They've got, oh yeah, they got a ward by Scuttle and then a control ward in that bush.
Rift Herald is now on the table. It is now up. Often it is being grabbed, but we got a little bit of
here comes. Oh no, I don't know if that's a smart move. The Mordekaiser can't do much against the Renekton right now, but it looks like Olaf might be trying to come on in and do something mid-side. But, oh, looks like there's something going on nearby Drake.
It's just going to be Vision Wars for the next few minutes. They're going to look for a pick, and that's what's going to be converted into the Dragon. It was a bit of a bummer for Nova that they didn't quite convert the mid play and the bot play to a Dragon, but they're going to be looking for something quite similar in doing that. They're going to look for a pick with wards, and they're probably just going to come back and reward this area. Echo, ground back his parallel convergence all the way back up.
Oh,
and yeah.
Is Echo actually going for it right now? I can't tell. We're not. Oh, with how much he's there.
He is on it.
And there comes Silas.
Oh,
so,
no, not rotating fast.
My goodness,
he's gone.
Oh, unless
Olaf
can
do
do
something.
something.
No, Olaf's not there in time. If he runs in, he's just gonna die. This is over.
And
but there's still could be a great fight from Nova. Akali jumping in.
Akali, that was a bit too soon.
Akali
managed to get out.
Teleport coming in from Vanderbilt.
Oh,
a little bit
going in. Oh no, the Olaf ult stolen. Double Olaf ult going out. There's explosions everywhere. Oh no, the Akali just got cut out. The Mordekaiser's a bit late to the party, but he's trying to see if there's anything to catch up from the after party. Doesn't look, he's chasing after 3 party goers, but I don't know how well it's going to go for him. They can probably turn around and get him. And then, oh, he gets pulled in all the way over there by Thresh.
Death's Grasp not quite able to find it onto the Echo. In that play, it feels bad because you teleport, you don't get anything, and you didn't push out top lane. If he had stayed top lane, it still could have been a little okay for Nova, even though you lose the Dragon, but at least you could get a turret plate or so. Now, Nova should be looking for this Rift Herald. They should be starting putting vision topside and playing around those 2 soul laners. We'll see how Nova can do it. Akali does have 3 of their 5 kills and is quite strong, and we'll see how he can start carrying.
All right, here's to hoping the Ninja can pull that off. And are they going to tell us what the next Drake is? No, but Cloud, that would be rather interesting. I'm trying to think if there's anyone on Vanderbilt's team. Well, I mean, Echo would benefit heavily from it, and same with Echo and Renekton benefit from that CDR on the ult.
I think everyone benefits from the CDR on the ult. It's quite nice on everyone. Echo, you would think he would, but it already gets to, even without Cloud Drake, his ult gets down to less than a 30-second cooldown at level 16. So it's not quite as noticeable for the Echo. Old Echo, like 3 patches ago, would notice it, but it's pretty much always up later in the game. But still nice. Still only a level 1 ultimate, so still good. You get probably an extra like 5 seconds off of it. So definitely nice. I would say it's a lot nicer for like a Silas or a Renekton. You can start using your ultimates a little more liberally now if you wanted to.
Ah, nice. Yeah. Jeez, but the Renekton, 3 kills, and he's up quite a bit of CS. Oh, and then is the Silas is going on in. Is the that's a bit of damage. That's quite a bit. That's an ignite dropped on her, and it looks like there's being ult dropped down bot side. The Nami looks like she's being caught up, but there goes the bars. Oh, in comes the Olaf. That Nami is sushi, and the Mordekaiser just got turned into another scrap of armor by the Echo and the Renekton. Oh, so
great try from Nova on the bot lane, trying to make a play, but it was also great on Vanderbilt, seeing that they were bot side and able to just pull the trigger top side. Vanderbilt, I would say, probably one off overall on the map, as Echo's probably just going to waltz on over to that Riptail and start taking it.
Yeah, he's just going to say, "Sup, I'm here to take you." Yeah. And there's not much Nova can do about it right now. Yeah, Renekton can also give it a hand if he so wished. And it looks like that might be what they're doing. Renekton and Echo. Oh, and then the Silas.
That should just be a kill mid lane. There's no way she doesn't take that. Yeah.
Oh, the jump. Oh, and then even Thresh came on in to try and give a hand.
Phenomenal solo kill coming out from Venom Hazard, doing a phenomenal job, just absolutely, without even expending an ultimate, which he'll be able to have for the next fight. And it looks like mid lane's probably going to be over, and even without the power spike from the mid laner, without the Gunblade.
Yeah, and then Olaf just barely catching the end of that.
I expect that Riptail to be used within the next minute. If it's not, then it's not as strong, and that's not the reason why you would take Riptail. It's to end games and to get tower plates. Right now, you're not really going to be starting to end the game, and you only have 1 minute left on tower plates, so you probably just want to shove out mid lane and drop it.
Alright. My thought was dropping it topside, because they've already got quite a bit of pressure there.
The thing with topside is that there's a champion there.
Oh,
and the thing with mid side is there isn't a champion there.
Good point.
So it's much easier to grab the thing middle.
Yeah, to drop it there. Alright, and it looks like Olaf came on in, like, kind of showing by topside, looking to see if the Renekton's going to engage again. But the Renekton just seems to be getting out of there.
Up 4-0 onto the 0-2 Mordekaiser. Can we see how much goal is the difference between there?
Oh,
almost doubling his goal.
Jeez!
Yeah, that's unlucky.
That is absolutely absurd.
So the nice thing about Mordekaiser, and one of the reasons why he's so good, even when behind, all he needs to do is either ulti anyone who's super far ahead, and they're just out of the fight. You get a Zonias on top of that, and your job is just to stall and make it a 4v4. If your team is stronger than 4v4, which they should be, as Renekton is basically their entire lead, then the fights still aren't going to be quite as bad. Of course, you're going to die inside the Death Realm, but if your team can win the 4v4, then it shouldn't matter as much. So it's not the end of the world that he's behind, but it's definitely not something you want to do.
Right, and looks like, Echo pushed a bit ahead, but this is a 3v2, and they're split apart. Oh, and that was a Lucian ult pop there.
Fun little interaction between Echo and Flash. If Echo starts his dash before the Flash, but they flash midway, he does follow the Flash. So sometimes that gets him in sticky situations. This time, nothing came of it, and Chaser was able to get out.
Oh, okay. Oh, my goodness. The Renekton's able to do damage to the Mordekaiser under tower and basically just get away with a tiny bit of damage.
It is starting to look a little depressing top lane.
It's
but
looking
that's all right.
grim.
At this time, you just say top lane, you just don't die, and you need to let your team be able to start doing the work. Eventually, he's going to be useful. Eventually, he's going to start doing a bunch of damage. That's why Mordekaiser is top tier. But for now, you're just going to have to say, it's annoying that you lost. The jungle gank was a little much. But if Renekton can just do this to you, you just sort of have to sort of give it up and then see what he can do.
Oh, yeah.
Especially since you can play through mid lane. If this Akali starts roaming bot lane, that shouldn't be like easy kills, but it's definitely easier than trying to go top lane. Especially with the Earth Dragon up, it should be quite easy to just go down, roam down, shove out, and then grab that.
Oh, there's a push, and it looks like Thresh is coming on and trying to give a hand. Oh, and that lands.
Next play
that,
also
oh my goodness. And the Silas is just sent into another prison. My goodness.
That was quite beautiful by the Thresh, not only landing what was pretty much a blind hook, predicting where he was going to be, but also using the Flay to interrupt the stolen Akali ult from the Silas. Interrupting that first dash really got the Silas dead. And that was really solid. This will be a Mountain Drake going over to Nova. Unlike last season where it was extra damage to objectives, this is now an extra 8% armor to people.
Oh, and
Death Realm under.
The Mordekaiser, he played that really well. He predicted the greed of the Renekton, but sadly the tower is gone. He's going to have to try and get out of there and stay alive.
That should be a dead onto the.
Oh,
guys.
flash.
Yeah, he just popped.
And he's dead.
Nice little animation cancel. If you guys see in the bottom, you see the little like cooldown around the T-mat. During a lot of your cooldowns, you can weave in a T-mat during your W or during your Q, and it gets just a little bit of extra damage. I'm not sure that's what made the kill happen, but it's certainly nice to see that extra little mechanic come out from the Renekton. Certainly knowing what he's doing.
Does that work for other combo champions like Riven and such?
There are certain other champions. I'm not sure if it quite works for Riven. Riven's not really a champion that builds T-mat because you don't really need as much wave clear because you got your Q. But I would imagine there are definitely other champions that could weave in T-mat to their combos.
Alright. So it looks like it's basically going to maybe boil down to the fight of the powerhouses with the Akali versus the big bad alligator man. Is he an alligator?
He's a crocodile. He's sort of like an old, you know Nasus? He's Nasus' brother.
Yeah.
If you want to get into the lore of it. He got corrupted, and now he's a bad dude.
Yeah, that sounds like that would be awkward at family meetups.
Yeah, I don't think they have family meetups. Alright, we got a little fight going down. Tower dive in the bot lane. We're actually going to be almost popping dominance. Not quite off cooldown. Actually going to be going. Still has the ultimate. Popped all the way back. One down of the Varus. We have the Silas jumping in. We got the Olaf popped, and then we got Echo jumping out. Echo will fall, but only after the rest of Nova fallen.
And there comes in the Nami ult, and it doesn't reach him. The Thresh is just the only one alive from that. Jeez, they took such a hard hit there.
Nova's one Fed member is topside. You can't fight those fights without that. I know they didn't want to, but if you have your Akali topside and you see multiple members bot side, you just have to give up the tower. Even if there's a Herald, I mean, you just die and the Herald split goes on. Yeah. So you just got to figure out that, hey, even though it sucks that we lose this, we have to give it up because our Akali is topside. She's our strong member and we have to play through her.
Yeah, and they only get one tower out of that, which is not worthwhile.
Rift Herald spawning up in 45 seconds. That will be used most likely from Vanderbilt to try to break the bottom of the base for Nova. We'll see if they can grab that up and then send the bot lane. Especially with Baron going to be spawning really soon, you put that onto your Renekton, who will have teleport. You send him bot side. You can start threatening Barons if people start to try to contest the Renekton. And if no one can test the Renekton, you just send a bot side, and that's a free at least inhibitor tower, if not inhibitor.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the map right now. It seems to be Ocean Drake based on all the foliage and the little light fruit.
Ocean Drake does add nice little pretty flowers, but on top of that, does add in extra bushes, one inside the dragon pit, and then expands bushes inside the jungle, so you need to figure out different warding spots.
Yeah, which I think if they can utilize those those different bush spots, they might be able to make a good comeback. If they can, I believe, get the Renekton caught on out, maybe pulled on in, and separate from everyone else through one of the bushes, I think they might be able to make something happen.
That is a double-edged sword.
Oh,
we got Death Sentence landing onto the Nami along with Death Grab. Going to be going on. Nami's going to be able to drop zero anytime soon.
She drops her ult. She's barely alive. She gets Shadow Realm. And then the bubble goes through. But that was quite a bit of action.
A bit of a funny interaction between the Death Realm as he used it and the Varus Q didn't quite connect because he got sent to a different dimension. All projectiles do not stay with the inside the different dimension, and they do fall off. Same thing with like Heimerdinger turrets or Alawi's, and that's just fun little interaction.
That's quite
Still did end up going up with Nova.
That's
Rift Herald's going to be going despawning in 20 seconds, so they should be able to grab it in time.
I don't know.
You look to be losing mid tower.
Oh, and then the Renekton was pushing a bot. Let's see. Is the Ninja going to win? Oh, that's quite a bit of damage done. Oh my. I don't know if she's going to.
The Ninja does not win.
She's seriously hurt.
This is just the different types of classes. You have an Assassin Fed versus a Bruiser, and this isn't really a type of matchup where the Assassin is supposed to win. The Bruiser is supposed to be able to be in the side lane and supposed to be able to 1v1 anyone. The Akali is going to be more for trying to kill the Lucian, who isn't necessarily a threat. Both Dominus pops.
Yep, and there was an hour about top 4, and that, they all had to come up there, and the Bars got the kill.
So what this does mean is Baron is on the table. I doubt that's what they're going to look for, but they could look for vision around the Baron, making sure that the enemy team cannot start setting that up. Dragon is also looking to be up in around a minute. They will, half a minute. Renekton will be up in that time, but they can still set up vision around it and figure out what Vanderbilt is doing. Half of League of Legends is just figuring out what your opponent's going to do and then finding out how to respond to it. If you don't know if your opponent's on the Dragon or on the Baron, it's hard to make calls on where to go. So it's really nice to get the vision out. Even though the enemy team is clearing out vision, you still know that they're going to be going for the Dragon over the Baron.
Yeah, vision is quite a powerful tool. As someone that's a support main, it's a really important job. You notice a very big distinction between people that ward all over the place and those that don't ward that much. It can save your life quite numerous times.
Ocean Dragon is going to be going
Yeah.
over to the Vanderbilt. That is number 2. At 4 dragons, you get a Dragon Soul, and the Dragon Soul for Ocean is getting extra 5% of your health restored every 5 seconds.
Jeez.
Quite strong in team fights and quite good against Poke.
My goodness. Yeah, that is quite crazy.
Vanderbilt not quite up to that. They still have to wait around another 5-10 minutes
Oh, and
before
there's
they
the
can get
hook.
the Dragons.
But
Death Sentence does land onto the Renekton. It's not quite the person you want to land that onto, but they're still going to take it. They now have information of where he is, and they're going to see and try to defend their mid tower.
Yeah, and I'm just Olaf still has Rift. They don't have any good spots to drop it right now from the looks of it. They're needing to defend bot side, and it looks like Renekton's going to come pay a visit over there to try and push it up a bit more.
Renekton's just going to stand there. He can't go past where he is, because if people show up, he's dead. His team isn't in the position to take Baron if multiple people showed up, so he's not going to overextend and show too far up, because that is the way that his team is going to start falling behind. He's playing this very intelligently and only going to be able to play too far forward when it means his team can get advantages elsewhere.
Alright, yeah, and looks like, yeah, they're just not... It's just all this setup, all this, like, dancing around. They're really trying to prevent each other from gaining an edge. Looks like Nova might be trying to plan something sneaky, but the axe gets thrown and nothing much comes of it. Vanderbilt's getting vision around Baron. Looks like they might try and make a move for it soon if they can get ward plays and that all done. Jeez. And it looks like, yeah, topside we got the assassin, we got the big buffy crocodile?
Yeah, Crocodile.
Okay, yeah, crocodile.
So,
Oh, that was a
flash
flash.
coming out from the support. That's quite important for the Thresh. We'll see if he
Oh,
gets caught
no.
out. Chain's not quite landing onto the Thresh. Nami Wave is going to be coming out.
There's the
Echo
Echo.
landing onto the Thresh.
Oh,
Thresh
no,
caught out.
Thresh.
That's going to be a pop on the support.
Oh, and he's dead.
This should just lead into a Baron, or at least a threat of the Baron.
Oh, and then
Olaf
Olaf
pop out if he does
murderized. And then there's a Mordekaiser ult.
I'm not sure he should be going after this.
Oh no,
Run out.
Jeez. And then, oh, the Echo was going in for that, but no one from Vanderbilt took any losses there.
There was an
Jeez.
argument for Vanderbilt just backing off after the single kill and going to be looking to support the Baron. They decided to try to find a little bit more. Unluckily for them, they were not quite able to find it.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. Oh, and they ran out of time and they had to drop the Rift, so it's just going to wander wherever the heck it wants.
That does create a little bit of pressure against Vanderbilt. They still have their leisurely time. Even if an outer tower falls, they don't really care as much.
Yeah, they've got all the time in the world, essentially.
It is a little scary because the longer the game goes on, Renekton doesn't like super fall off, but he is a lot less effective in these team fights whenever the sharp foes him down.
Yeah, oh, and the
Mordekaiser
Nami.
will be able to come
Oh
back.
no, the Nami
He should be
and...
fine.
Oh, okay.
Ignite coming out from the Nami, thinking there's going to be a little more damage from the Echo than there was. That's a nice little summoner spell. That won't be a make or break for the next team fight, but it is something that you can look and be happy about if you're Nova.
Alright, yeah, I was expecting that to turn it more into an all-in there to try and get the Olaf. 'Cause it looked like Vanderbilt had people mid and they would have been able to rotate over. That would have turned it into a 2v4.
League of Legends, and especially in a competitive aspect, does run off like Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And so there are a lot of plays that could happen, and we as the observers see happen that we're like, yeah, they should do that. But they have less vision than we have, and so they don't know all the information. For all they know, behind the Olaf could be an entire team. And if they start and engage there, they're caught out without their Renekton, and they just lose a fight, and then Nova has a chance to come back. So even though they lose the Ignite, it is the smarter play and the safer play.
Talking about Renekton, he actually ended up stealing the red buff there, which was kind of comedic.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. You would like that on your Varus. The extra slow and the extra damage is super nice. There's going to be a dragon coming up within the next minute, and there's going to be probably a fight around there, maybe. But if Nova does lose the fight, that will be Baron going down. If not, just the game being ended through bot. So we'll see if Nova can do anything. Only having one of the blue trinkets, so it's really hard for them to scout out being on that Varus. So they don't always necessarily have the greatest long-range vision.
Yeah, and it looks like Vanderbilt is, they're getting vision around Drake. They're prepping for it. And you said how long until his Drake's up? In like a minute or so?
The little like non-yellow hourglass just says within a minute. When it turns to yellow, it means 15 seconds. So.
All right, and then both teams got vision on Baron. You can see both control wards there, and they're just kind of chilling. They're trying to prevent Nova from being able to get vision or see what the heck they're doing by Drake.
If you're Nova, a fight right now isn't bad. You just finished up your Gunsu's Rage Blade on your AD carry. You have finished Zonia's up on your Akali. You have 2 finished items on your jungle. And the Mordekaiser can still just death realm someone and take them out of the fight. So this isn't the worst time to fight if you wanted to try to come back.
Yeah.
Down 4k does feel really bad in the fight, but if you can find a nice pick on, let's say, like the Echo or the Silas or the Lucian, then you still have a pretty good chance to win the fight if you can peel off the Renekton from the Varus.
Yeah, oh, and that's Drake just for Vanderbilt, like no questions asked. Yeah, and the Varus does have a stopwatch, so he does have that one-time use of like, hey, I'm about to die, let me not die.
Yeah, that will be stalling the extra 2.5 seconds. That also doesn't mean you won't be doing damage, but it's better to be invulnerable than to be dead, so.
Yeah, and yeah, that's Drake for them. One more and they get the Drake Soul with the effect as mentioned. Echo just taking a bit of damage, but it doesn't, yeah, no one's being able to make any moves right now. They're all being very cautious. And it looks like, yeah, looks like Vanderbilt might be trying to think about what to do.
Vanderbilt, there's still an open inhibitor bot lane, so you might just want to send down a Renekton over there, play cross map, and if someone needs to teleport, then you teleport. Just a little bit of clearing vision from the Nami, and then they're going to start playing the mental game of are we on or are we not.
Yeah, I find it interesting. The Nami's actually 2 levels down. So that's gonna, yeah.
That's just from roaming and not doing quite, like, support levels don't matter quite as much as, like, mid lane champions. That's why they're able to be support champions. Roaming down, getting wards does tend to make them under-leveled, but that's still fine because they still bring their crowd control and healing that they need to for their team.
Right. But I'm pretty sure the ult difference is here. If I remember correctly, you get your second ult point at level 11. Yeah, so I guess her ult, it's the not having it at that level 2 is not going to be as impactful.
If fights were going all the time, it would matter a lot more, right? Because they're not, the ult cooldowns don't seem to matter quite as much. If you were playing on and off, like the second you see someone you fight, it would matter a lot more because getting that extra 20 or 30 seconds off of the ultimate would make you be able to use it in more fights. But if you're only fighting once every like 5 minutes, it being on a longer cooldown doesn't really matter.
Alright. It's just interesting. Now, what do you think Nova, what does Nova need to do to be able to come back from this?
Honestly, they probably need to find a pick, or they need to find someone out of position. The way that they win is that Vanderbilt needs to get a little too confident about their position. Vanderbilt needs to finally slip up in some way. Most of it is just going to be seeing if someone is in the wrong position and then taking out from there. It's hard to do that because sometimes someone being in the looks like being in the wrong position isn't always in the wrong position, especially when trying to find a pick onto the Echo who has a reset button. It's a little bit harder to actually pick out. So maybe a Nami or a Lucian might be the ones you're trying to go out on.
Yeah, because even if they, I feel like even if the Renekton does misplay a bit, because of the lead he's gotten and just the gear he has, even with Guardian Angel, he can make a misplay into a good play. I feel like
nice crucial QSS picked up by the Lucian. Lucian will no longer be able to be taken to the Death Realm, and the Varus ult will no longer be able to take him out. Same with the Death Sentences. So your pick options as the game go on seem to be getting less and less. Echo is a hard target. Silas is an okay target. You probably want to be picking up the Silas if you can. But the Lucian is starting to become a little bit trickier to actually pull off.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if Nami with the Crucible, I think she can use that on herself and get herself out of the Shadow Realm.
Along with, yeah, she can't get that herself out of the Shadow Realm.
So
if the Mordekaiser is ulting the Nami, then they're already going to desperate measures.
Yeah, hey, a kill is a kill. What can you say?
Yeah, we'll see who slips up first. This game, even though it looks like Nova's behind 4K, which is a fair amount of gold, it still could be anyone's game at this point.
Yeah.
Death Cap almost going to be completed for the Echo. You see him sitting on 2 needlessly large rods. He's within 1,000 gold of Death Cap. And Death Cap would make it so he could probably one rotation to Varus, even through the QSS.
Yeah, and that's top tower fallen for Nova. They don't have any, well, they only have one tier 2 tower for mid left. And that's halfway
that's gonna
down.
fall down. You don't even try to defend that, even if you are Nova. You don't want it to fall down because it gives the other team a little more room to wiggle around. But at the same time, like if it falls, it's not the end of the world. Your base has already been broken, so it's not like you really just want to be looking for picks. And if you can get a pick off them overextending to your tier 2, that's great. But if you can't, then you have to let it go and try to find picks elsewhere. Vanderbilt's doing a nice job playing this slow and sort of suffocating Nova.
Yeah. And yeah, the Akali can't do anything about him right now. The 2 level difference. And what's the goal difference between the Akali and the Renekton, if we may know? Like, kind of curious about this. So
4,000. Yeah.
Ooh,
close. You can just tell it's kills aren't always what tells gold. You also got a lot of different farm. That's 60 farm. Each minions are worth around like 17 gold. You can just do the math. Just purely based off farming, he's just super far ahead.
Yeah.
Not only that, but levels 17 to 15. He already has a level 3 ultimate, giving him a lot of extra damage and fury when he pops that dominance.
Jeez. Can we get back to the items, please? Thank you very much. Yeah, jeez. Sterix, Gauge, Guardian Angel. Yeah, he's going to be one tough person to kill. And it looks like, yeah, Nova's trying to get some vision on the Drake, or at least clear wards. And here comes Vanderbilt. Ooh. Doesn't know. I don't know. It looks like they're both just trying to dance around. This might turn into a fight of dragon.
Lantern already being taken out by the threat. Comes out.
Oh, Nami
Death
got
Grasp
pulled.
falling onto
Oh,
the
there's
Navi.
the ult. There's the Renekton going into the grass and everything. He got ulted. He was in the Shadow Realm. Oh, somebody's in the middle of all of that. Echo popped on out. Renekton just saying hello and saying, I'm going to destroy you all. And that, ooh, ouch. That hurts for Nova. And the Akali trying to run away. But Silas is saying, no, not today. And that's Drake for them.
That could even be more. I think if they went bot lane, they probably could have ended the game. They can still take it slow. They're still most likely going to win this game, but I think there was a chance they could go bottom. At least grab the inhibitor. I don't know they're not grabbing the inhibitor. This seems like a bit of a greedy play.
Looks like they're just going to be trying to clear out mid and maybe do damage to mid tower. Maybe even take it.
That's the Dragon Soul. They will be getting a lot of extra healing. At this point, it's really difficult for Nova to come back from this one. So we'll see how they...
Yeah. And that Silas looks to be taking the other inhib. They would have to pull something crazy off here in order to get out of this.
At this point, if you're Nova, you probably need to take a deep breath, say, we know what happened wrong this game, we need to fix that next game, and we should start looking for and not getting tilted off this game. There's still a chance that you could win this game, but it's going to have to take some real mental blockage from the Vanderbilt team to mess this up. With Dragon Soul, and they're probably just going to waffle over to that Baron and just grab it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to mess it up at this point, from what I believe. Jeez. Yeah. My goodness. So, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, the biggest mess up was kind of top side. The Renekton got really ahead.
Yeah, that was also done by the Echo, making his path a lot more different and actually ganking top. He did the red, blue, and then ganked Gromp, and then he just went top. That was sort of the focus of their team, as they sort of dominated that soul lane and were able to push advantages through there. It's to the point where even the time that Nova can't end the fights before Renekton comes out of the Death Realm. And that's just sort of the point at which they have a really difficult time.
Yeah, jeez. Yeah, and it looks like Vanderbilt's securing vision around Baron. Looks to be basically their Baron. Yeah. Because with two inhibs broken in Nova's base, they're going to have to be dealing with those minions.
The minions do mean extra gold, however. Each minion, as you can see, is an extra 90. So each wave, Nova's getting an extra 90 over Vanderbilt. So over time, it will matter a lot.
Oh, and then the Akali's trying to go in. That's a bit of damage, but there's Silas inbound as well. The tier 1 tower on mid for Vanderbilt's still there. The Silas getting caught up, but no, that's not enough. The both redemptions from both teams get dropped, but no kills are taken, but a lot of resources are burnt there.
Kudos to Nova for trying to make actions. At this point...
Oh, Renekton.
Oops,
oh, no.
Jumping into
oh, no.
Damage going to be pulled out. So much damage coming out from
Oh, my
Renekton.
goodness.
Death Realm being sent... Renekton being sent to the Death Realm, but it just doesn't matter. As soon as he gets popped out...
Oh, my goodness. That Mordekaiser's getting sent straight to the scrapyard. Oh, but the flash out. Oh, that doesn't even work. Lucian already got his sights on him, and he's dead. My goodness. That play from the Renekton was absurd. Oh, the Olaf's popping his ult, but that's not going to be enough. That'll get him to survive, but oh, Vanderbilt's pushing on in. I'm pretty sure.
This should just be the game.
Yeah, oh, Sal's getting him. The Akali's trying to get on out there, trying to back on in, but no, not enough. That's damage, and that seems to be game. Well, Silas just took some tower damage, and that is game. Gee. Pretty heavy in favor of Vanderbilt there, but Nova did give it a good try. Yeah. My goodness, something's going on with my other caster. So that was a pretty interesting match that we just had there. The biggest mess up seemed to be with Nova handling the top lane situation. The Vanderbilt played it really well, getting that Renekton fed with that early gank, and it just snowballed from there. The Renekton gained so much power.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break while we get ready for game 2. If you guys just want to stay up, we'll be back very soon.
Alright then.
All right, welcome back. We're going back into game 2. There are both, of course, swapped sides. Nova is now blue, and Vanderbilt is now red. We're going to be starting off this game with the same bands. Gangplank first, Jarvan second, Hale third.
Yeah, looks like that's going away again. So no oranges tonight again. What do you think that? And then Misfortune ban. Wait, the Vanderbilt was the one that banned the Misfortune.
Yeah, and Vanderbilt banned it again.
Oh, okay, I'm getting confused.
Yeah, they swapped sides. Started on the opposite sides. These are the same bans. I think both teams were happy with what they banned. They just need to, Nova just needs to figure out what they need to do differently this game to actually get them ahead. Vanderbilt's pretty confident about what they did last time, as it worked. And so if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know?
And there's the Echo ban trying to adapt from what happened last time.
The Echo was a bit of a problem for the Varus. The Varus kept on getting popped even after the connecting was sent to the Death Realm. So just getting that little diving option out of there does make it a little bit easier for the ADC of Nova.
I thought they were going to ban... I thought Nova was going to ban Renekton.
Renekton, even though just because someone does well in a game doesn't mean there isn't a way to play around it. Sometimes people look at the replay and say, here's where I went wrong, and now I know how to fix it. So if you know how to play against it and you're confident of playing against it, you could have a second pick you have into it. I know, like, when people play Renekton against me, I would just play Quinn. That would just be a super great matchup. And so you might be looking for something kind of like that. Vanderbilt can be running it back. Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. With Nami Lucian. Strong laning, and they overall did a great job.
Yeah, and we've got Thresh back on Nova again.
I will say, we have a different jungler, and that way we have a different jungler pool. So the Jarvan ban might still hit our lad, but who knows? Maybe he doesn't play it as much.
We'll see in a second here, or in, I guess, a few seconds.
My guess would be 80 carry coming out right there. Xayah would be a little interesting. Generally, that's paired with the Rakan, but this time opting to go with the Thresh. Still not a bad, definitely the better part of the duo. A lot of people do like picking that up. A little interesting, you didn't see like a Senna or something like that, as they are quite strong. Aphelios could also have been a great pick. 223% ban rate in Korea as of last patch. And a quite strong champion. I'm surprised that it's been left untouched this long.
My goodness. Yeah. I don't know, but it'd be interesting. And there's Elise.
That is for early game power. Our lad is quite nasty with his Elise. I have personally played with him, and he is very good at landing cocoons, very good at jungle pathing, and just quite strong on the champion all around.
So he's going to be leaving a lot of widows then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's see. So, what are they going to pick next? Just taking them a bit. And there's the Renekton again. Jeez.
Vanderbilt's picking it up now, as I would suspect that it wouldn't make it through round 2. It still is technically a flex pick, but I would probably suspect that it's going back top lane.
Yeah, that would make sense. And if it's the same player as before, he's probably a bit confident.
Yes.
Very confident. Akali being banned out, Venom Hazard doing a phenomenal job, just absolutely being able to 1v1 and just push his lead. Even though it wasn't enough to win the game, it was enough to sort of scare Vanderbilt into banning it.
Yeah, he did pretty well there. Those spots are pretty good. That would have. Oh, and there's the Diana ban again.
Diana's still also quite strong. We saw that banned last time, and it's no surprise that we see it banned here again.
Yeah, and we discussed some of the new changes she has and why she's a bit powerful right now. Let's see, what's the final Nova ban gonna be? What do they have
They could
left?
be targeting junglers. They could ban out that Silas if they're wondering, because that's maybe why Akali was banned. So we'll see what the path
The
Nova has to go
weak
for.
fear the
Kayn.
shadows.
Fear
Interesting.
controls them.
Kayn is the main champion of what the Vanderbilt jungler plays, and so the same way that the Gangplank and Kayle were banned is the same reason why Kayn was banned. Trying to get people off comfortable champions and saying that if you're not on comfort, I think you're gonna not do as well. So really pushing him down the line. Rek'Sai would not be surprising. Zac would be a little surprising. But
Oh,
that is
Zac?
what's going to be end up being locked in. Great at ganking mid lane, has really interesting jungle pathing. When you versus Zac, you do have to adapt and have different ward placements to try to catch him out. In the same way that you might need to have different ward placements for like a Kayn or something like that. So we'll see if they can use this effectively. Still quite good at ganking the soul lanes, so that might just be the plan of Vanderbilt again. Not as fast of a clear as Echo, so they might be able to play around that.
Oh,
and
Ornn.
Ornn being picked up for Nova. That was banned last time, and for good reason. Really strong engage, really strong fighting. Deceptively, even though he's a tank, he still has a lot of damage being outputted in lane. With the Grasp of the Undying, it makes the Renekton into Ornn not feel quite as bad, especially from the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, and Ornn does percent health damage with his W and the Brittle. Also, the fact that he can upgrade his teammates' items later on in the game gives them quite a bit of a, I wouldn't exactly say power spike, but that bit of extra power is always nice.
And Lissandra is going to be the final pick for Nova. This is looking to be a little more team fight. I think the way this is going to work out is Elisa's sort of going to snowball these lanes ahead, and then Ornn, Lissandra, and Xayah are going to be able to carry the game from there. You have Thresh and Lissandra and Ornn to grab picks, and you have Elise to get objectives and do things early. We'll see what Vanderbilt decides to pick up last, and it will be the Cho'Gath.
That'll be interesting. How does Cho'Gath versus Lissandra go mid-side?
Cho'Gath versus Lissandra, trying to think. It's probably not horrible. I don't think the Cho'Gath will really ever get to a point where it can really kill the Lissandra. There are a few different options you can go for Cho'Gath. You can start with that Rod of Ages, which is what I guess you do, and then go in sort of like an AP Bruiser. You can also run like things like Righteous Glory and Shurelya's if you really want to get in there. And they're both opting to take Ignite. This is going to be trying to kill mid lane. I'm surprised that you don't see surprised we don't see a teleport coming in. And also another thing is Cho'Gath can run Glacial Augment. This can mean he can run GLP and Twin Shadows, and this can be used to slow down team fights a lot, make it really difficult for the Xayah to kite, or really difficult for Nova to engage or follow up.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Jeez. And then what they got here, yeah, that's going to be quite a bit of bulk. Jeez. Yeah, hopefully the orange percent health damage and the knockups will allow for Nova to do a lot of damage.
What I will say is Xayah has a lot better self-peel. When the Renekton jumps in on Xayah, last time, the Varus just had to take it and sit there and was like, alright, this is fine, I'm just going to die. Cool. But this time, Xayah can hit the R button and actually get away from the Renekton. And not only that, but she has self-peel on her E, which is the Blade Recall. With that, you can actually do a lot more damage, and you can actually go through tanks like Zac and Renekton a lot easier than a Varus could. Even with the Blade the Rune King that Varus has. Not only that, but in lane, one Thresh Death Sentence land will be able, an easy setup for a Xayah, just double tap and then pulling back the feathers will be a nice stun. So great combos in the bot lane. We'll see who can land theirs first, and that often will decide the output of the laning phase.
Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see what goes on. Now, how do you're mentioning before how Elise is like going to be good early. What do you think they could use, like mostly utilize that there? Do you think they're going to try and pull, not exactly a no you, but kind of a switch around on the enemies and go and have Nova basically give Vanderbilt what they did to them early game?
I would be surprised. Focusing on Ornn in lane, while you still can gank for the Ornn and get him ahead, it still is very nice to get the volatile matchups, just like the Xayah Thresh ahead. You're still probably going to start red, and so you still could look for a gank topside if it's available. But also just mid lane, getting a Lissandra ahead as well, opening up her roam is also quite important. So we'll see what Arlad decides to go for this time. We'll see.
Ah.
No.
Yeah. So,
All right, minute starting in 1:12. You guys can cast your predictions. I don't think we have a voting system, but
not as far as I'm aware.
in all honesty, I really like the Nova comp. I think it looks really fine. I think you have great peel. If Xayah gets super far ahead, you have Lysandra to peel for her and just sort of sit on her. A lot of times, Lysandra has two sort of play styles. You dive in 1v5 and stall for as long as you can. You jump in with E, you flash W, you ult yourself, and then you Zhonya's. And that buys, at the very least, 6 seconds for your team. 6 seconds in a team fight can often be how long a team fight is. And if the Renekton gets ahead, as Lysandra, you just sit on the Xayah and just peel for her. And you have a Thresh on top of that. No one would be able to touch the Xayah if played optimally. So, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I feel like I would be maybe a heretic if I was to say anything for Vanderbilt, but they probably played that last one really well. Of course, because, you know, I'm here at Nova, I have to kind of put my vote in with Nova and hope they win. Otherwise, I would be a heretic.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Vanderbilt did a great job getting early pressure. They did that against an Olaf, even though they had Echo. And I think that was a good job getting the Renekton, seeing that they had opportunities. And they also played cross-map super well. When Nova was doing things bottom, Vanderbilt would always be doing something, at least middle or cross-map. Doing a great job getting objectives and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was really good plays on their part. So, let's see how this turns out. And we're going into the match. Oh, and there's Discord. Hello!
Leaked. Alright, again, there's two different options. You could go for a 5-point or an invade. With a Thresh, you still could go for an invade, but Nami also, with a bubble, can hit multiple people, so we'll see what both teams decide to go for. There's also the thing where you go 4 and 1, just to get, you have one person stand at your red buff to make sure no one wards it, and then you have the other 4 go to their red buff and try to ward that to figure out where they're going to start. Figuring out where Zach is going to start is going to make it super easy for Elise to try to find invades and other stuff. With the Lysandra middle, that should have lane priority over Cho'Gath for at least pretty much forever. Once you get that lost chapter Lysandra for mid lane, then you're just going to auto shove, and then you can start roaming with your Elise, and you can start getting other lanes ahead through that.
Alright, and now we're going to be able to see where are they going. And is it normal for Lysandra to take Aftershock?
It is. That's so what that tells me is that it's not going to be a super like heavy AP Lysandra like death cap rush, you know. That does tell me that she's going to want to jump in and do Aftershock procs after any CC, and it makes you tankier. So you can jump into 5 of them. You can pop your W, which roots everybody around you, and then you can start surviving.
Alright.
And that allows you to get an extra second or 2 of surviving, as well as doing just a little bit of extra damage. The damage is pretty negligible, but the extra survivability is nothing to be underestimated.
Alright, yeah. And that took a bit for them to get started in here. But yeah, they're spacing on out. Alright, strange stuff's going on, but it's whatever. I think even the game is getting excited with this. If it's building up anticipation. It's getting ready for this.
Spicy. Remember that 4-on-1 I was mentioning earlier? We have the Ornn going down to the red buff, and we have something a little cheesy going on in the top.
Oh my goodness. They really do not like that Renekton. They really do not like him. Oh,
yeah, this is just a nice... You can go around and often get a kill through there, because they often sit in the bush. But it looks like they were spotted out, and they were seen by the Renekton. A little unfortunate for Nova. They did see... They did get spotted out, but it still gives good to give information. They might just walk up and try to find a ward on the red buff. They and like not to do that and just go for that pixel bush.
And then Vanderbilt's doing 5-point. Yeah, that would have been kind of comedic if they were able to catch the Renekton out and get their revenge for last time.
Something interesting early is the Elise dropped the ward early, backed, and then bought a sweepers. What that does is it means that your early ganks, you can figure out where wards are early. It's really strong for early game junglers. Like, even you could see that being done on Olaf. But especially on the Elise, you're going to back. And now you can deny vision and walk through wards without being worried about being spotted. Very smart play up from Arlight to starting off.
Nice. Yeah, and alright, looks like starting to go in there.
Red-blue start. That's the classic.
Oh, something's going on with the Ornn and the Renekton. Seems like they're just saying hello to each other.
Yeah, just a little bit. Ornn looked like he was trying to fake leash, and then Renekton just spot him out. Rupture landing onto the Lysandra, just a little bit early poke.
Oh, and Elise is just straight up going for the blue.
Same thing that Vanderbilt did last time. So the ping on the red suggests that Elise is going to go red, blue, red. What that means is since Zach is a tank, not as fast of a clear speed as Elise. So Elise is going to try to use her early clear speed to actually get stuff done early. A little bit of extra damage done by through the mid lane.
Yeah. Looks like Lysandra's taking a bit of damage there. Top seems to be going a bit better this time, and bot looks to be doing alright. nothing too crazy seems to be going on here.
It's level 1, things tend not to happen. There's level 2 power spikes, like right now is when things start to tend to maybe happen.
All right.
But I think things like this,
Ooh.
Unstoppable not quite able to find the Ornn.
Yeah, but the Ornn's still doing quite a bit of damage there. Oh, the Chillgath. The Chillgath did quite a bit of damage to Lysandra. Oh,
The top lane trade isn't quite as bad as some might think. You see the Corrupting Pot in Ornn's inventory along with Biscuits does mean he's going to have a lot of sustain. So any damage that is done to Renekton is most likely going to be permanent, except for the 3% lifesteal he has on his blade. Whereas the Ornn, the damage he takes isn't going to be quite as permanent.
Oh, Lysandra. Oh, there's the gank. There it goes. And Chillgath. Is this void creature going to meet his end to the Spider Lady and the lady from the Frozen Lands? And it is.
So if you guys wanted to look at the pathing of Arlad, he walked across and it looked like he didn't follow him. That was to prevent a flash coming out from the Cho'Gath going over the wall so that he would actually escape. That was the only way that Cho'Gath realistically escaped. And he was able to deny it.
Oh, and then bot lane.
A little bit of skirmishing in the bot lane. I don't think anything.
Oh no, Spider Lady's here.
Death Sentence running down onto the Lucian. There's just going to be a little bit of disengage.
TP coming on in from the Cho'Gath. Oh, and then topside, Ornn's doing quite a bit of damage to the Renekton. Oh, she's taking a bit of damage. But looks like not much came from that.
6-minute cooldown on Death
Oh no!
Lucian underneath the tower! That's going to be Lucian going down, going over to the Elise.
Oh.
Beautiful Death Sentence by Chaser and beautiful capitalization from Arlad.
That Ignite got dropped down.
Ooh.
Oh no! Come on, Lantern, Lantern! No! And the Spider Lady falls to the Void Creature mid.
And you can see the missing pings of Arlad saying he tried to click the Lantern.
Ah, that feels bad,
That feels
man.
really bad.
Jeez. Lantern.
Sometimes you just sort of fat finger it and you can't quite click on the Lantern. It's a little bit of a mechanical misplay. But other than that, still great overall plays.
Oh, Zach is in Nova's blue jungle. It looks like he might come on up for a gank.
Ornn does have to watch out here. You haven't seen the Zach in a long time, so you do have
Oh
to suspect
no!
the grinder somewhere. It's going to be a slow push, and there's just going to be an Ornn getting out with no problem, just sort of charging out. Arlad coming back on. This should just be a kill into the Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath doesn't have flash anymore because he used the bot lane to get the kill earlier, and Arlad's going to come back, take his revenge with Venom Hazard.
My goodness. This is starting out quite differently than last game.
Nova's using the early game jungler a lot better this time. I think Elise is a little bit easier to pull off when you're doing this type of ganks, as you do bring CC yourself, and ganking a Lysandra against the Cho'Gath who doesn't have any way to escape is just sort of free gold.
Jeez. Yeah, that's pretty... Oh, Lysandra's... They're doing something. Is she at least going to go for another gank bot side? Because it looks like she's in the position for it.
This would be quite smart as Infernal Dragon is up.
Oh, there we go.
Flash play onto the Lucian. Going to be Death Sentence landing onto the Nami. That should just be a free kill. Going over to the Xayah. Are they going to look for a second one? There's going to be a flash over from the Lysandra onto the Lucian. And this is a nice double kill over to the Xayah. Nice job, gentlemen.
Jeez, that was pretty good.
This is going to be a free Infernal Dragon going over. Of course, hasn't changed from last season. Going to be that extra damage given. But yeah, beautiful dive, beautiful play, bringing over the Lysandra, being able to grab the extra 80 carry. And look at all that farm that is being denied by the bot lane tower. Not only is that goal, but also experience. Putting the bot lane ahead in a nice spot.
Yep, and then that's going to be one Inferno Drake up to them, which, yeah, as my caster said, yeah, that's going to be a bit of damage. And that Nami got turned into some fish food.
Next dragon in about 5 minutes is going to be that Mountain Dragon. Of course, going to be adding extra resistances. Maybe not quite what you maybe want a second Inferno, but that doesn't happen anymore. But looking at that Rift, could be another Ocean. Ocean, of course, being the strongest soul, I believe. Quite strong in just overall team fights, and especially great with champions that might run out of mana like Lysandra. Super nice to have on it. Blue being given over to Venom Hazard, doing a nice job with Lysandra being able to abuse the Cho'Gath, who is in that melee range matchup. Yeah. But overall, beautiful roams. As we said, this was how they win. The Elise comes middle, and then once you get those first few kills onto the Cho'Gath, you can start roaming with the Lysandra and then just start making plays off the duo. They've been doing a great job working together, and I think this could end up just being a win off Nova if they keep on at this pace.
Yeah, and then, yeah, the top laner, the Ornn, is doing really well.
Someone's going on top. We see Elise walking top. Crab's not up, so this is going to be a gank. There could be an Ornn coming down. We'll see.
Oh,
missing onto the Renekton. He's going to be going unstoppable, by the way. Misses up on the E. This should be a kill, though. Even through the Dominus, there might be Ornn coming down. Flash from the Renekton. Cocoon just going wide. Dominus going to be popped. Not quite able to find it on the Elise, and it's just going to be Nova disengaging. Let's see if Renekton can find one back onto it. Able to land the Q. Able to land the last dash. Oh, not quite able to do it. The minion's picking up, and a double kill for the Renekton.
No.
Unfortunate for Nova, if you saw the positioning of the Elise, the minions were blocking her Q and her E from landing a second time onto it.
Oh,
The
Thresh
death
hook.
sentence lands onto going through unknown
no.
godly reasons. Heaven came down and made that Q land for some unknown reason.
And then the bubble came on down and was like, hello, you're trying to make this work. Sorry, but I'm a fish lady. I'm going to deny you that.
Yeah. Great bubble from the Nami to disengage that. I'm still a little surprised that hook land. I'd want to look at the replay.
I don't know. Ooh.
Rupture landing onto Lysandra, nothing going to come of it. Just a little bit of clearing. That's sort of how you play these champions. You push and roam. And it's sort of boring to play against, but good to win, you know?
It's boring, but it works. You're not, if you want to climb, I guess you play champs like that, not just all the flash ones. Then again, what do I know? Yeah, but
Rift Herald going to be up within the next 15 seconds. Popping
Oh.
up right now. A little bit of damage going on between the bot lanes. Bubble going to be landing onto Thresh. Nami going to be caught up in the W of the Lysandra, and it's going to be another kill going over to the Xayah.
Ooh, yeah.
Nicely done. I thought the Thresh was going to fall, but they made it a 0 for 1. Nicely done.
Yeah, the Lysandra roam was really good there. It put that fish on ice, definitely.
A little bit of stuff going. So, again, as mentioned last time, you do want to start getting these Rift Heralds before plates show up. It might be interesting if Arlight tries to go top again. The Renekton does have a double kill, so you might want to be looking for more of an invade onto the Zac to get a kill on him, as opposed to trying to kill the Renekton, to then maybe get the pressure for Rift Herald that you need.
And I'm just noticing, the Vanderbilt actually has some vision in Nova's red jungle. And then, likewise.
Except in the blue jungle of Vanderbilt. The Nova's ward is a little bit better as it's a pink, so it'll stay there for a lot longer. Just nice little cheeky little wards to spot out the other team.
And it looks like Renekton's going around. Oh, they might be making a move for a rift here. They're clearing vision. Yeah, that's a start. And Nova has no vision on it, but it looks like Warren's seeing that something's going wrong, so he's going to investigate.
Everyone's coming over. This is a little risky from Vanderbilt.
Oh,
They
and
got
there's a
multiple
pink.
members coming over.
Yeah, there's
Vanderbilt's
a
just
pink
going to
there.
walk off of it. This is making it a 2v1 in the bot lane, so they might see a little action onto the Xayah. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah,
Xayah looks like she's backing off.
Yeah, and Xayah does have ult, so if stuff does start to go sideways, she can use that to get herself a bit of breathing room.
Yeah, and again, her having ult right now is a byproduct of them just doing super well in lane. The extra kills and the extra time she spent in lane gives her that extra level, which allows her to be safer in the 2v1. Still not safe enough where you'd want a 2v1, but safe enough where you feel like you won't die in the 2v1.
Yeah, and now they're both level 6, with the Thresh not being level 6 due to low roam. You know what? That should be cleared up soon. Looks like there's not going to be...
This is setting up a freeze right now. Oh, never mind. They did not want to freeze. There's going to be a hard shoving. Renekton sort of BMing by recalling in the face. Classic.
And then, yeah. Oh, that was thrown up. Ooh, that's a bit of damage, man.
There is the lost chapter onto the Cho'Gath. I think a lot of people are used to the Cho'Gath in the top lane, where he does have that tankier build. But this looks like he's going full AP. This will be going into the GLP, items, and that will be able to be working well with his Glacial Augment. Still going to be scaling up.
Yeah. Renekton moving on up there. He's just chilling there. Not even... Interesting. Yeah, but bot lane Drake's going to be up soon, and that's going to be what? You said Mountain. There we go. Oh, and there's...
A little trading back and forth.
Yeah.
If nothing else happens in this lane, the Ornn is perfectly fine with that. You have the better team fight as you do have your ultimate, which does make it a lot easier. For those of you who don't know what it is, he calls basically a giant ram, and you can throw it at people to suspend.
Oh.
A little bit of fight going on in the jungle. If this is caught out, that should just be the dragon. Zac's going down. There shouldn't be one
the
teleport
TP.
coming down
The
onto the
TP.
blob. That's a teleport from the Renekton. Not quite going to be cancelled by the
Oh,
Ornn.
no, jeez. And then
Disaster
the Zac
strikes for Nova as the fight is cleaned up from Vanderbilt. Using those TPs very well. Ornn looks like he did have the teleport, but wasn't sure that he thought that was probably the Cho'Gath that was teleporting, not his laner, so not able to follow up in time, and it will be a dragon going over to Vanderbilt.
My goodness. And then it's going to be Cloud Drake is the big Drake for everyone. Jeez. My goodness. That was crazy. It looked like that was in Nova's favor, but then just turned around.
Cloud Dragon, the Cloud Soul for Renekton will be a huge problem, so you definitely don't want them to get to 3. You never want them to get to 3, but especially if you're trying to peel off for the Xayah from this Renekton, that'd be a huge issue.
And Ornn getting like 1 or 2 turret planes off of that.
That'll be about 240 gold, so you're happy with that if you're the Ornn, you're not happy with that if you're his teammates, but It is what it is.
Yeah, you gotta make do with what you got.
To be fair, I don't think Orange should have teleported after the initial start of that fight. I think he made the right call not doing it that time. Renekton jumping in, not
barely.
quite able to.
Barely
Not quite
getting out of
a
there in
call.
time. Yeah.
Orange gonna walk back. If you're Orange now, you just don't fight in this lane anymore. You're gonna start stacking armor, and eventually he won't be able to kill you. You can just sort of have solace in the fact that you're just gonna, you know.
Yeah, and it looks like, oh, they're going for Drake. Not Drake. My goodness, that would be
Rift out.
different if that was Drake. Yeah, Rift.
You might just want to take it and send it mid or somewhere else, but it looks like there's gonna be a fight in the top.
Oh,
Glacial Augment can be coming out,
GLB?
landing onto the Elise, jumping to the Blast Cone, and be able to get away. Beautifully done by the.
Yeah, that was
Release?
well done by Nova. They managed to get out of that really well. And they got Rift out of that. So, yeah. Curious to see whether they're gonna drop it.
Anywhere before the next minute. Looks like it's probably gonna be mid lane.
Yeah. But they got Cho'Gath moving back on in. And there's a ping there, so yeah, they might be announcing it there.
Not quite able to find a way to drop it. I don't think they'll get the tower plating off it like they might want, but that's just because they don't know where Zac is.
Oh no,
Looks like it's gonna be
Cho'Gath.
an all-in from the mid lane. We'll see what happens. He's gonna be able to W him away. Ulting
Oh
himself.
no.
Arlad is back in there, gonna be able to land a cocoon. We got action going on in the
Oh,
bot lane.
jeez.
We have Xayah popping the feathers fly. He's gonna be pulling them back. And there you go, Rift Herald in the middle.
There's no kills.
For
from
so
what I
much
can see.
action, not much blood.
Isn't that like all the action?
Ooh,
Oh
got
no.
the tower plate. Zac can be elastic slingshotting in. At least not gonna be quite able to find it. Not having
Oh.
flash, not able to get out.
Oh, and that spider just got squashed.
A little unfortunate that Zac was right there. His long-range elastic slingshot does allow him to get to ganks a lot faster, so if you don't get those done early, he will be able to counter gank pretty easily. It was a little unfortunate that neither of them were close enough to grab that Rift Herald gold, so it broke 2 plates, but it didn't actually get them the gold, which is the reason why you'd want to drop it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But that's still at least 2 platings down, a bit of damage dealt. Yeah, and it looks like, geez, Zac just farming there. Yeah. And her being low on mana. Is there going to be a gank bot side? It looks like Zac might be moving towards the bot side here.
It's a little difficult. This is definitely going to do it. Oh, we got Ornhorn coming down. This card is going to clear the
Oh,
wave.
no.
A little bit of damage onto the Renekton. He is just going to go down.
And that's the tower dead.
Dominus Pop going to be going on to the Renekton. Not quite able to find the stun down. One slice and dice, followed by another. Eventually going to be able to go down. Not going to be able to quite find the damage, as Ornn is able to just walk on out.
Oh no, she didn't see that, no. And then there's the TP coming in down.
That will be the Cho'Gath jumping down. Let's bounce, always able to find the people that he's going on to. Zac able to hit one, not quite able to find the other. Xayah is able to do as much damage back. He did get the free teleport.
Oh, jeez.
Ornn is
Oh,
going
no.
to teleport back. You got someone behind. The Lucian is going to fall, along with maybe the
Ornn.
Nami.
Oh, geez.
Ornn's going in a little deep. Not quite have the HP to continue chasing up, but still able to threaten it.
Yeah, but with that, Renekton's being able to push up top tower quite a bit.
It is a little scary. It looks like Renekton's going to start taking the jungle of Arlad, but other than that, the extra kill on the Lucian will make him a lot more useless. If you're Nova, even if you look at the gold and you're down 2k, you're still feeling pretty okay. The fact that your Xayah has almost all of the kills. You're sitting there and you're like, yeah, this person can carry. So what you need to do, you need to sit back and say, here's the hard carry we have.
Oh,
Elastic
no.
slingshot and wave landing onto the Thresh, not quite able to find it.
Oh,
but we
no.
will have a return kill from the Xayah. Onto the Thresh though.
My goodness. Oh, and then Cho'Gath he's taking tower shots, but he gets out alive. Jeez.
The silence from the Cho'Gath made it so he couldn't flash. It did look a little weird of why he didn't flash, but that was because of the W of the Cho'Gath.
Yeah, silence. It's rather annoying how it stops summoner spells.
It does make sense. It does make him a lot better. Yeah, a little bit of unfortunate. Last time it was Venom soul killing him, but now it's vice versa.
Yeah, and then we're getting stuff going on mid. And it looks like, yeah, Nova's clearing out wards around Drake. They're probably going to try and secure it.
Dragon in 15. Both teams are going to be wanting to look around this. It is a little scary because the Renekton is going to be coming down for this fight with a fully finished Black Cleaver. But if you're Nova, you don't want to start giving up these dragons early.
Yeah, jeez. I'm just looking at the kills right now and looking at stuff. Jeez. Yeah, it's fight for vision, fight for knowledge. And it's interesting. Let's see, so Lisa's backing. Renekton's coming on down to... He might just say hello to the bird lady, but there's something going on up there. No, they're just looking at each other saying, hey, Here's my vision, not yours.
So these objectives are a lot easier to take because you do have that Cho'Gath. You have a Smite on top of a 1000 true damage Chomp. So if Nova steals this, it would take a miracle. They might just not even look for this. They might, because Arlad's not there in time. So they're just going to give it up. They're just going to try to steal it. Not quite able to find it. Horn landing itself onto the Cho'Gath, but that was just trying to steal the dragon and not successful.
That would have been amazing had that gotten it. And then Renekton's just TPing topside.
Oh, Lysandra jumping in, going on to the Nami. The Nami not quite able to find it. Wave landing onto one. Death Sentence not finding its mark.
No one getting a kill there. That's rather unfortunate, especially with all the resources used there.
For those of you wondering why Renekton might have teleported top, as he's been doing a lot of great plays across the map, is the gold he was going to miss. He was probably missing around 10 minions right there. And the amount of experience in gold is worth more than a kill than you're going to find. So it's definitely worth it to use a summoner spell because you'd use a summoner spell to get a kill. The same way you'd use a summoner spell to get all that gold because that's how you're going to start propelling yourself. Now in the mid lane, we have Renekton behind Lysandra. Lysandra does have ult, so it's a little less sketchy. And it looks like people are going to be running into the Renekton. Renekton might be a little out of position here.
Yeah, it looks like they might have been trying to catch the Lysandra out, but the Renekton's getting cut
Dominus
out.
Pop, going to be using the Glacial Prison onto the Renekton. Renekton not quite able to die. Renekton able to slice and dice his way out. One kill picked up for the Renekton. That is one scary croc.
Yeah, it is.
Death Sentence not able to land.
Yeah, sadly, we got no Batman to stop him.
Is that a reference to something?
No, just Killer Croc. Batman.
I guess I don't know about Batman.
I don't know. Someone check it out. I could be completely messing up my stuff. Oh, but there's the hook, and that's a bit of damage. Just
they
saying
don't know
bye-bye.
what Vanderbilt is, so even if you land a hook, it's hard to go back in. You can suspect it on the record, which is what they are on, but unless you know that for sure, it's really hard to go into those picks. If you're Nova, you need to start getting up your vision again, and to start working around that.
Yeah, jeez. Looks like they're getting, I wouldn't say they're getting completely backed into the corner, but it ain't looking, it's looking a bit grim. Nova's taking no towers, while Vanderbilt's taking 2.
The towers aren't quite as bad. Once you get later into the game, eventually Xayah will start being able to burn through every single tower she touches. But until you get to that point, you're going to need to start using these Elises and stuff like that to start getting picks. Or the Threshes, or the Orns. Right now, if you start fighting with this Renekton around, you're going to start losing the fights. And it's hard to start a fight without the Renekton because people know that, hey, Renekton's my strongest member, so I'm going to start fighting with him. So, a little difficult for Nova to pull off, but they're going to need to wait for Vanderbilt to go a little far forward without their Crocodile.
Yeah, I'm just a bit curious why Nova hasn't picked up any Grievous Wounds items. Because they do have a bit of Nami heals. They have Cho'Gath heals a bit, and then they got Zac, and then Renekton.
So, when you do Grievous Wounds items, you do have to understand that it is an extra, for 80 champions, it's an extra 800 gold out of the way, and for AP champions, it's an extra 2,400 out of the way. So, sometimes building those Grievous Wounds, unless it's like a Mundo or something, doesn't feel as worth it. Rift Tail gonna be dropped in the bot lane, looking to pop that tier 2. People jumping onto the Xayah. She's gonna flash out. A little bit of damage onto the Croc. The Croc not quite gonna be able to fall, even after the Dominus. Teleport coming in from Lysandra. Lysandra finding an ult onto the Nami. Gonna fall though.
No one's like...
Crocodile's end is gonna fall. The Orm being able to clap it at the very end. Xayah doing a lot of damage.
Oh my goodness!
Not quite able to find the damage enough. Rupture
this
not quite able to find, but all of Vanderbilt's low enough where they do have to run away.
Jeez, the bird lady is holding down the coop. My goodness, that was a lot of damage. Just death everywhere, health dropping. Everyone's HP was so low.
That is a bit of a heartbreaker for Nova. Not everyone quite able to do everything they wanted to do. Thresh has the box still up, and that's just not necessarily what you want to see. The extra damage could have been useful, especially if it was onto the Lucian. But overall, the base doesn't get popped from Nova, and if the base doesn't get popped, you still have a chance to come back, so they still are in this game.
Jeez. Yeah, but that was still one crazy team fight. You're talking about there being like a lot of action, like no blood earlier. I'm pretty sure we got a lot of action and a lot of blood there.
Yeah, 24 kills in 21 minutes is at least a kill a minute. That's pretty impressive, especially for these types of games that are the collegiate games. A lot of times people do tend to play a lot slower. Now in professional games you don't see a lot of kills, but that's because people are playing super respectful. A lot of this sort of thing is whoever disrespects their opponents and misplays a little bit more tends to lose. And I think we saw that earlier with the Renekton play. Unfortunately, that Croc is a little scary.
Yeah, he's definitely a killer. Yeah, again with the Batman reference. Woot. Then again, I could be complete with the wrong people. Well, I can't English. You have to
Dragon
apologize.
up in 45 seconds.
Ooh, they got vision on them.
It's only the third dragon. Nova doesn't need to contest this with their lives, but at the same time, the extra cooldown reduction wouldn't be bad, especially on the Zaya.
Yeah, but it looks like Vanderbilt's got a pretty good grasp on it. They have Renekton down here, and he's scary. Jeez.
Already completed that GA as a second item. Even if he does die, he will get revived, and he gets all that extra healing from that Conqueror.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little tough to beat. The Zaya not quite in the position to do it. Once she finishes that Infinity Edge, which she's not quite at that item break point, she'll be able to do it. Looks like Nova's just going to start sacking this dragon, saying, hey, it's not the fourth one, we don't care about it yet. It's annoying you guys get it, but... You know.
Oh no, that Ice
Interesting.
Queen.
The claw went in an interesting way.
Ooh.
Nothing happens of it.
Alright, the Ice Queen barely survives. Or what would even be the proper title for the ruler? The Ice Ruler? The Tribe Leader?
She's not the Ice Ruler, so Frelia is broken up into 3 different areas. There's, I forget the 3 different tribes, but one's ruled by Ashe, one Lysandra, one,
Sejuani?
Sejuani, yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah.
So she's sort of like, I forget their names too. It's like the Ice Guard or something like that.
I don't know either. That's the reason I'm asking you.
Yeah, I used to know it. No, I don't. Anyway, back in the game. Baron is up on the table. It's been up for the table for 3 minutes. Vanderbilt could start looking for vision around there. Not quite doing as good of a job. I think Nova's doing a great job with their vision. They have it in the right spot. They have it at the Baron, whereas Vanderbilt seems to have it at the bot side because of the earlier Dragon. So there's a little bit of ward split up there. So see if Nova can make plays in the next few minutes while Vanderbilt tries to sweep out the vision.
Yeah, it looks like Vanderbilt's got a good chance to go for Baron here, it looks like. But then again, Nova does have 3 people mid. Oh, and Spider Lady, that flash was nice, but no, it wasn't
nice enough? No. Repel coming out, but not going to be able to save the Elise.
Oh no.
Zonius is going to be popped, trying to find an extra bit of time, not quite able to find it. Orange teleport coming down. Orange coming down, might be able to find the extra kill. Finds it on Nami, 1 for 1.
Jeez, that was pretty crazy how much damage Bird Lady did there.
If you're Nova, you're really happy about that.
Oh,
no! Jumping in, Dominus
no!
onto the Zaya, not quite able to find the damage. That can be doing his less bounce. Onto Zaya. Zaya is still untouched in this fight, but Nova doesn't seem to be mattering for Nova as the Vanderbilt doesn't seem to be tearing through their team. Zaya is alive, not quite able to do enough damage.
My goodness. Jeez, the Guardian Angel got popped on the Killer Croc, and he's still kicking. Jeez.
Zaya is going to retreat. That might just be a forfeited inhibitor. If you only have 2 up, it might be a little difficult to defend that, but they still might try. No ults on the Zaya, meaning she isn't quite as safe, as it does grant her that untargeted ability, but we'll see what they decide to do there.
Jeez. Yeah, that was quite a bit of damage.
Just a little bit of spiders being thrown out at the enemy team, nothing too significant.
You know, just simply saying like, hey, have a spider. You get a spider, you get a spider. Everyone gets a spider. We're playing Legends of Runeterra here.
Oh, yeah.
Fun game, by the way.
Great game to check it out.
Yeah.
But for now, we're on League of Legends. We're seeing a little bit of wards being cleared up by the Nami, doing a great job clearing out that Baron, as again, that should be the next objective Vanderbilt looks for. The inhibitor going down, that is extra gold for Nova if they can withstand the 5 minutes that it's down. But if they can't, then it's a little bit rough. Upgraded Molten Edge to the Zaya. Orin is now hit his level 12 mark. At level 12, he can start upgrading his own items, and after that, he starts upgrading his allies' items. The first ally item being upgraded is going to be the Molten Edge for Zaya, as she is going to be the carry. Finishing up 2 whole items, 50% crit chance, she's going to be starting to hurt a lot more.
Yeah, especially Molten Edge giving her a bit more damage. Also, I don't know if we talked about the Orin's upgraded items. Both of those are basically giving her... Oh, no. Oh, the Ice Lady is getting caught out. There's the silence, preventing her from running away. There's the ult drop, having Burn Flash get out of there, but she's still getting slowed. There's the hook, but it looks like the silence is running it. Ooh.
Holy crowd control, not able to click on the landing. That's a tilter.
That's annoying. And she just got...
Cho'Gath does have ultimate, so this isn't actually super risky from Vanderbilt to do. Especially with how much HP they're going to only... So, like, they leave these fights with a lot of HP, and if Cho'Gath just tanks all of this, they should be okay even if Nova shows up.
Yeah. Oh, the Thresh is being caught out by the Zac. Ooh.
Thresh is a little bit behind enemy lines. There isn't a Zac there, but there's still the Cho'Gath. So you still feel pretty confident if you're Vanderbilt to do this Baron.
Oh.
Zac going to be joining his friends. Ornhorn is going to be coming out. Ornhorn is going to be spotting out, knocking up nobody, giving a little people a little bit of brittleness, but other than that, nothing much.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to capitalize on that. And I'm pretty sure Redemption doesn't do any damage to Baron.
It does do damage to Baron. It's insignificant. It's like a level 1 Janna tornado.
Seriously? I've seen, like, on the Janna subreddit, someone actually managed to steal Baron with the tornado. It was amazing.
It was back in Season 2.
Oh, no.
Level 1 Janna tornado.
Jeez.
I think it was Season 2.
I don't know. I'll have to go find it later. And looks like
Dragon Soul coming up quite soon. The extra ability power that the Vanderbilt has might make it a little more difficult. Flash coming in, out, no dominance quite yet. Hook landing on to the Renekton. Dominance is now going to be popped, along with the Glacial Prison onto the Renekton. The damage not quite able to be pulled. Oh, nice jump to execute onto the Renekton. That's huge right before the Dragon, as that is most of their team. Death Sentence landing back onto the Cho'Gath, going to be flaying back too. Nami also caught him back in bat. The damage not going to be quite able to find it onto the Cho'Gath.
orange!
The Beast also going to be able to find one. The Xayah is now here, going to be able to do a lot of damage. The Zac is going to be jumping onto the Lissandra, hoping to find the damage. Not quite able to find it. Root coming out for the Blade Caller as the Feathers keep on coming out. This will be the Zac going down. Lucian was top the entire time. We're going to be setting back the Lissandra up top, and then there's probably going to be a Dragon going down the way of Nova. This is phenomenal, as the fact that Nova now has to wait another 5 minutes before the next Dragon spawns, and then they have to wait another 5 for Elder if they get the next Dragon. What Nova's trying to do is they're trying to stall, because Elder is the strongest buff in the game, and whoever gets it basically wins. And so if you want to prevent that from as long as possible, Teleport is going to be coming out. They finish the Dragon. Will they make it out?
Barely.
No, they don't quite make it out. Feathers calling coming out. The stun going on to the Renekton. The flash coming out, able to kite.
No, maybe?
The Flake coming out, also not able to. Death Sentence
onto
the Renekton. That's going to be a kill onto the Renekton. Beautiful play by both of the bot lane of Nova. Cho'Gath's going to be teleporting in behind. Not going. If they done one, I'm not sure if they can do two. One not quite able to find the damage onto the Nami. The Rupture is going to find itself onto the Thresh. Thresh is going to go down. We'll see if the Xayah can actually go. The Vastayan is not quite able to find it. Ornhorn coming down, lands itself onto two. Flash not quite able to find it. And Lissandra able to clean it up. What I will say is there's also the mid inhibitor did go down from Nova, so it's not all good. But you do get the extra bit of damage onto the Xayah, as she did just pick up a whole bunch of kills, and not only kills, but shutdowns. She's going to have so much gold inputted into her that she might be able to actually just solo carry this game. She doesn't have flash for the next fight, which is quite important, but if we can just wait for the ultimate to come back off of that champion, this could be going into a game 3, folks.
That was so pretty crazy. Nova, yeah, they're pulling it out of nowhere. This feels like an underdog story. The Vanderbilts are messing up. Nova is playing it quite well. And this Bird Lady is definitely showing that she has the right to fly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Doing a great job. A little bit of mispositioning last fight with the Feathers, but all's well that ends well. But you can see the pings onto Xayah. That means that Vanderbilt is going to be sending every single resource at that champion that they can. If Xayah dies, Nova just loses. So they need Nova is going to try to defend her, whereas Vanderbilt's going to try to only exclusively attack her. So we'll see who can start winning.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just heard a shout, so I hope that's not foreboding.
Yeah, we're not going to read too much into it. It's not our job to read into that.
No, it's not.
Hope good things, hope good things. Red buff going to be coming up. If that goes onto the Xayah, that is a lot of extra damage they do want onto the champion.
They're going to
wait.
sneaking.
Someone's going to go in and try to check there, and this is just going to be killed. Death
no!
There is GA. Dominus Pop not quite able to keep the Renekton alive. Renekton's GA is going to go down. Zac is going to be jumping onto the Vastayan, not quite able to find the damage there. Feathers flying out of the... Xayah able to pull back the Feathers, not quite able to find it. Zac's going to be jumping in. Passive already popped, going to fall down. Cho'Gath the next one to fall. There's a lot of damage coming out from the champion. Double kill, triple kill, quadra kill! Woo!
Sadly, no Penta. The Ice Queen stole it.
That's totally fine. If you're Nova right now, you feel so excited that the Xayah is so far ahead. With the amount of peel you have from the Ornn, from the Thresh, from the Lissandra, you can't touch this person. And not only that, even if you get past everything, she has her own self-peel. Not to mention, that fight, she didn't even have flash. If you wait the extra 2.5 minutes till she gets it back up, which is around Baron spawning, then you're going to have a great fight around the Baron. If you just keep on making these fights and keep on peeling for her, you're going to end up winning the game. This is what I'm talking about that potential of this Xayah in these sort of hyper carries picks.
Yeah, geez, there's so much peel, you confuse them for a fruit company. But what I do like there, during the fight, if you noticed it, when that was all going down, Ornn split off from the group and kept the Lucian and the Nami from getting in there. Even, you know, cost him his life, he was able to do damage and deny them from getting on in there.
Yeah. Lucian isn't super fed right now. He's an early game AD carry as opposed to Xayah, who is a late game AD carry. The fact that Lucian didn't get ahead means that he's sort of like a half a champion right now, whereas Xayah is like 2 champions. And with the GA pop from Renekton last fight, the next time that Nova's going to fight, it's going to be really nice because the Renekton can't just jump in. What happened last time was Renekton was too tanky because the AD carry we had last time, Varus, wasn't able to melt the Renekton too fast. But the fact that Xayah just outputs so much damage does make the Renekton a lot easier to go through this time.
Jeez. Yeah, it's pretty crazy seeing this. And there's no deaths on the local bird lady. Jeez. 8 assists, my goodness. And the CS difference is ginormous. That's like 100? Yeah, that's 100.
That's called Flame Horizoning in professional.
Flame Horizoning?
Yeah, it's called, yeah. So when you out CS someone by 100, then it's called Flame Horizon because of Flame. There's a person called Flame. So there's a Flame Horizon in the bot lane, Flame Horizon in the top lane. It's a little less impressive because not everyone here is Challenger. It's a lot more impressive when everyone there is Challenger, but still impressive nonetheless, and it will mean that Xayah is almost always how they're going to end up winning these fights.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. Hey, you learn something new every day, folks. I definitely learned that. Oh, goodness. And it looks like the Vanderbilts are trying to set up for Baron.
Yeah, this is a sneaky bush play, and Nova doesn't have the wards to spot them out on this one. The elastic slingshot is going to be pulled out.
Oh,
not quite
no.
able to find itself onto the Xayah. 1, 2, not quite able to knock her together.
Oh, no.
Feathers flying
Tommy.
back. The Blade Recall is going to be doing a lot of damage. Zac not quite able to find it. Ornhor going to be coming out, find its way into the Vanderbilt team, not quite able to find the damage. Xayah flash, not quite up, but is going to be able to find the damage. Nice.
Whoa!
Lucian going down, Nami going down. That's great. Baron is up. You just
Quadra.
head over there. Nice job. Even with Arlad just heading over there, you have the smite. You have everything you need. Beautiful peel done by Nova and beautiful carry job done by Only Then.
Another Quadra onto the bird lady. This is insane. This is just crazy. I didn't expect this to happen, yet here we go. Bird lady showing everyone up, saying, hey, I came here to party, and ain't none of you getting in my way of it a good time.
Now, I can't see into the future, but I do suspect to see a Xayah ban next game. He's just been absolutely disgusting on this champion. Finding Blade Recalls on the entire team, finding just feathers perfectly placed, being able to kill the Renekton. We'll see how it goes next game, but it's looking good. Like, there will be a third game.
Oh,
being able to pull this one out of their butt, you know?
And they might be able to, yeah, I think they got to break off this. Damage that she deals, my goodness. Yeah, that got chunked. That was like, the dragon was like, hello, I'm going to wave. And then in the middle of greeting, it just gets stabbed.
Next
like
dragon is Soul, which would give Xayah extra movement speed after ulting. Extra movement speed to kite, extra movement speed to get away from champion. It's really hard for the Zac to jump in on the Xayah because she does have her ultimate. And even if she ults, like, it's not it's an important cooldown to get down, but now she has flash with this fight. The last 2 fights were when she didn't have flash, and she's getting quadra kills in these. Not only that, but like Renekton and these Zacs can't get up close to it, and the Cho'Gath doesn't quite have enough glacial augment items to get back to him. The Righteous Glory, I'm surprised that he hasn't gotten close enough last time, but the Ornhorn, I wouldn't. Isn't only the Xayah show. I think a lot of things go underlooked. Like,
yeah.
The Ornn is landing 4-man, 5-man ultimates. The Lyssandra's jumping in, stunning absolutely everybody, getting rid of these important targets from the fight. And Xayah's doing the damage, so she's getting all the praise. But this is entirely a team effort. Cocoon's coming out from the Elise, stalling out the back line, and then Thresh landing important death sentences, you know?
Yeah, they're working out really well. Yeah. Being the supporting cast is good here. And as we can see, everyone on the Nova team has upgraded items. That's going to be really nice for them.
Yeah, as the game goes on, I mean, the game has already gone on. Level 18s are going to be started coming out for people. It's already been found out in Venom Hazard. He's already max level. And as these teams start getting higher and higher, it's just kind of looking better and better for Nova as they do have that late game carry.
Oh, there's the Last Whisper. Finally, there's a Grievous Wounds item on the ADC. I am so happy to see that.
It's Mortal Reminder is that one.
Well, I thought it was Last Whisper.
Last Whisper is the unupgraded item.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about Grievous Wounds items, yet I don't even remember the names.
Executioner's Calling is the
yeah.
subset. So there's Executioner's Calling, there's Lord Dominus Regards. Both are very important to start shredding out this Renekton. That's the people who she really needs to be getting through because they're really tanky.
Yep, and Renekton's pushing out bot lane, but Nova's just pushing through mid. Let's see. It looks to be... Warren seems to be going back. He might be going to try and stop that Renekton.
Renekton is going to be a pain in the side. You do have Baron recalls on people, so it won't be too much of an issue. But Xayah,
Oh, that's
We'll
turret.
see how this goes.
That's all inhibs open to be taken by no for
Clean
no.
landing
Oh
onto it.
no! Oh
Death
geez.
Sentence not quite going to be able to get
Oh
no.
my goodness.
Lissandra's going to be jumping in, not quite enough damage from the Lissandra. There's the open inhibitor. Calling is going to be coming out, not quite able to find it. Lissandra is going to end up taking that. Wow.
Where?
Flash Death Sentence onto the Cho'Gath, not quite able to find it. We're going to be diving under the Nexus Towers of Vanderbilt.
Oh no.
Chase is going to end up going down along with Venom Hazard.
That was a bit too greedy.
Speaking of greedy, that was a weird teleport from the Renekton, not quite able to find it. Renekton is going to try to flank from the side, and we'll see how they're able to actually do this. Renekton is right there, going to be looking for the inhibitors to actually try to find it. We'll see if Xayah and friends can get back in time. I believe with the Baron recalls they should, but it looks like Vanderbilt isn't giving them room to breathe.
Renekton's doing basically like no damage to Ornn. And
Yeah.
boom.
Once Xayah gets here, there should be have enough damage, but it is a 3v2, so they got a little too hypey around the inhibitor.
Oh jeez, and Spider Lady's getting chased down. Oh my goodness. Are they going to focus on Renekton?
No, but unfortunately in this situation you do have to give up the triple inhibitors. I think the mid laner and the and the and the support got a little too excited about the chance that they could win this game. It made it a little more difficult, but
let's hope that does not cost them.
I guess it'll cost them a Dragon Soul. That's about it.
Yeah, well, I was about to ask like when Drake is, but the helpful Renekton just told us.
Yeah, that will be in about 1:15. We'll see both teams hopefully be playing around that. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, they're gonna. Nova's gonna have to pull something wonky, and that's a gigantic Cho'Gath. Quite a big boy over there.
Cho'Gath, as he feasts, he does grow. He's probably maxed out on minions already and is trying to chomp on larger things, like champions or dragons.
Both are very tasty from what I've heard. I heard from Cho'Gath, okay, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's like a dog. He doesn't really have like a very picky.
I think a void creature actually. So I
Well,
think
I'm saying his appetite's like a dog. He sort of eats.
just like
care what it
Pokemon.
tastes like. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess food is food when you're in the void.
Anyways, back on track. The dragon's gonna be up in 1 minute. Vanderbilt can just wait out. They have double super minions in every lane. If you just stall out the game, eventually Nova's going to have to answer the waves, and they have to give up the dragon. This should just be a dragon going to Vanderbilt if they play intelligently and slowly.
Yeah, they're moving around. Yeah, I can see what's going on. And that Drake's going to be up pretty soon. With that amount of damage nearby.
Something you could do is you could go and look for a trade from the dragon to a Baron. I don't think they're quite in position, but if you were coordinated enough, you could have just maybe made a spicy play like that. Not quite able to make the read on that, but...
And that's soul for Vanderbilt. Jeez. 30% CDR on your ult plus this movement speed. That's nuts.
It'll be really nice for the Zax's Let's Bounce. As he jumps around, he'll be a lot faster, being able to disrupt Nova a little bit easier. It's been a bit of a lull in a little bit of in this game, but the next team fight should just decide the winner.
Oh my goodness. Look at the gold difference. They're only off by a tiny bit.
And as the game goes on and on, gold's going to be less relevant and less relevant. Xayah is already full build, so any extra gold given to her isn't going to be quite as useful.
Right. Yeah, and the interesting thing is, once everyone's full build, because of Ornn's upgraded items, the Nova team will have a bit more strength behind their items.
Yeah. They've already gotten the max strength that they have, but the extra efficiency from the Ornn items is certainly playing a key role in these team fights. Ooh, sneaky. This is just going to be a Baron going over to Vanderbilt. Nova's not even close.
Oh, they don't even have any clue. This is not even on their radar over there.
Even if they knew, they can't stop it.
Yeah, they got no global ults. Jeez. Oh, but it looks like Nova might have an idea that something's going on. Something's fishy.
They can't leave the base, unfortunately. They might just look for a pick on the Renekton. That might just be the play.
They might
Renekton is really far forward. This might just be a mistake from him.
Oh, yeah, he's getting trapped out. He's getting caught out. Oh, that hook missed. Oh, that hurts. That hurts my soul to see. Renekton flash, but oh, that hurts the soul. Let's see what goes on here. Jeez.
So I said next fight decides it. Unless Nova gets an ace, they won't quite be able to end the game off of a kill. So Nova right now is in a position where they need to defend, and they need to be in a point where they just appeal for the Xayah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the vision score. Nami has 104 vision score.
Yeah, she's been doing a great job putting down wards and clearing wards.
Oh,
She's
jeez,
able
the
to ramp up that
pressure.
score. double Supermans from everywhere, and they're baroned up. This is a really rough clear for Nova.
Oh, they're gonna have to pull off a miracle here.
If Vanderbilt doesn't do anything soon, then it's fine, because they're just gonna have double minions eventually chip down the towers. Nova doesn't quite have the wave clear because of the extra baroned up minions. It's really hard for Lysandra to end up clearing them. So we'll see what she can end up doing.
Ooh, and then that goes down. There's a hook grab.
Horn coming down onto it, gonna be finding its way onto 3 members. Flashes 3.
Oh my goodness!
More damage coming out from the enemy mid laner.
Oh no!
Feathers flying out from the Xayah, not quite able to find it. Xayah is going to be going down,
no.
and that's probably just going to be end up being the game.
Oh,
Zone is coming out from the mid laner, or not quite able to find out the damage. It is going to be Venom Hazard going down along with 8-3-4-6. The Thresh is alive, not going to be able to pull this one out. Unfortunate from the Nova. They almost had it, but Vanderbilt ends up being victorious.
That was rough. It looked like Nova had such a good chance there with the Bird Lady, the Quadras, the double Quadras. It looked like it was going to go great.
Yeah, one mistake leads to another. It was unfortunate. Again, thank you guys for watching. Next weekend, we're going to have a game. We're not sure against who.
45, apparently.
Against 45? Yeah. 4 to 5. It's the exact same times. Thank you guys for watching very much. I hope you enjoyed the commentating, and have a good day.
Yeah, take care, y'all.